Hello YouTube, and welcome again to this channel where we explore Swiss Army knives. Subscribe now for the latest upcoming videos. Don't forget to share and like as well. In this segment, we'll be looking at the different layers of the 93mm Swiss Army knife by Victorinox. At one layer, firstly we have the Victorinox Solo Allox, a 93mm single layer model with a single knife blade. It's also called the Swiss Army 1. Whilst the Solo of Swiss Army 1 does not have any of the typical Swiss Army knife tools, it's an extremely robust knife that's easy to maintain. It can be carried on its own, but it's also well suited to be paired with another Swiss Army knife as a backup or second blade, or as a larger blade when paired with a smaller model with more tools. Then there is this model, the Swiss Army 2, or the Pioneer Pruner. The Pioneer Pruner or Swiss Army 2 is a slim 8.8mm wide, 93mm long, single layer A-LOX model from Victorinox with only two blades. It has the main blade, and it's got a small blade in the style of a more specialized hawkbill style, also known as the pruner blade. The pruner blade, in my opinion, is the best blade for unboxing and opening packages. Then there is the very rare Electrician Solo, a 93mm single layer A-LOX scaled knife from Victorinox. This model is quite unusual in that it only contains a small electrician's sheep's foot blade, which includes a wire scraper and cutter. It was discontinued long ago. Next, the Pioneer Apprentice, a fairly slim 93mm single layer A-LOX knife. It includes a small electrician's blade that is only available on very few models. Having the main blade and the small blade, we have the Pioneer Settler. Think of it as the two-bladed 84mm Excelsior version of the Pioneer. Last but not least, in the single layer 93mm category, we have the discontinued Victorinox Seaman, a red allox Swiss Army knife intended for marine use. It has a marlin spike opposite the main blade, as opposed to the more common awl. It is a relatively rare model that is highly desired by collectors. Moving on to two layers, let's dive into the origins of Victorinox. The soldier's knife is the true Swiss Army knife, having been the official issue to the Swiss Army since 1891. From 1951 to 1960, this 93mm design is a scaled-down version of the original 1890 soldier, which was the official issue to the Swiss Army. Starting in 1962 through 2007, this 93mm A-LOX scaled model was the official issue to the Swiss Army and other military organizations. The Victorinox Pioneer is essentially a civilian version of the Victorinox 93mm soldier's knife and features the same tools and construction. It is the Swiss Army knife on which Victorinox based the design of the A-LOX soldier in 1961. Let's take a look at a good example of the Pioneer. It has the can opener and precision screwdriver. It has the cap lifter, wire stripper, and flathead screwdriver, which is beefier and chunkier than its 91mm siblings. It's got the main blade, which is also thicker than its 91mm cousins. And you have the inline, very soldier style awl and reamer, which is very beguiling in terms of design because it's very sharp but not very noticeable. The Pioneer, however, has a few differences from the Soldier. It most always includes a keyring, which the Soldier does not have. The Soldier is like the Swiss Army too, which does not have a keyring. The logo on the scales of the Soldier was the cross shield and not the Victorinox shield. And it does not have the year of production stamped on the tang of the main blade, like the Soldier's knife. And on the opposite scale, it has a small flat area for engraving. Also at 2 layers, we have the Electrician. This model is from 1981, so it carries the old cross. This model replaces the common can opener tool with a small electrician's sheep's foot blade, which includes a wire scraper and cable cutter. This particular example is still in very good shape and has got very snappy tools, even if it's from 1981 and it still has the factory edge on it. Inline reamer at the back. So it is, in fact, a Pioneer which replaces the can opener with this electrician's blade. The Pioneer Rancher is a 93mm Victorinox Swiss Army knife with A-lock scales. On this model, the regular can opener is replaced by a small hawk-bill pruner blade. The discontinued Victorinox Sailor is a 93mm 2-layer red A-lock Swiss Army knife featuring a marlin spike tool and intended for marine use. Also discontinued and less common, we have the Victorinox Technician that is very similar to the Pioneer and the Electrician. The Technician is one of the very few models that has a very small narrow screwdriver known as a Technician screwdriver, and one of the few that does not include the standard can opener tool. Another rare model is the Victorinox Woodsman, a 93mm Swiss Army knife with red airlock scales. It's sometimes referred to as the Pioneer range knife or the A-lock Woodsman. The original version of this knife can be hard to find and is valued by collectors. At 3 layers, a good example would be the Victorinox Farmer, a very popular 93mm A-lock skilled Swiss knife. It upgrades the classic historical Pioneer with the addition of a wood saw. Some people have said that the extra width of this model makes it more comfortable to hold compared to 2-layer models, such as the Pioneer. Alternatively, there is the Pioneer X. It adds the 91mm scissors . The Pioneer X is in fact a Pioneer with scissors. Then there is my personal favorite, which is the Swiss Army 7 or Pioneer Harvester. It is one of the few knives that does not have the standard can opener tool, but retains this pruner blade. So it's one of the few knives that doesn't have the standard can opener tool. It retains the standard cap lifter, bottle opener there, but the can opener is replaced with the pruner blade. And as I've mentioned, the pruner blade has a wide range of utility applications. So as you can see, it only takes a Pioneer, removes the key ring, changes the can opener to the pruner blade, and you have the harvester or the Swiss Army 7. Then you had the Electrician Plus, which adds a wood saw to the Electrician. The Technician Plus, which added a wood saw to the already uncommon Technician, making this model a rare find. Then you have the ultra rare and discontinued First Mate. The Victorinox First Mate is a 93mm red airlock Swiss Army knife intended for marine use. This model includes a marlin spike with a sewing eye, so it can be used as a sacking needle or to sew and repair other heavy textiles. Also aimed at nautical applications, Victorinox also produced the midshipman at one time. At 4 layers, we only seem to have the Farmer X, which adds on scissors to the 3-layer Farmer. However, as a special run in 2021, Victorinox also produced in limited quantities the Harvester X, or the Swiss Army 7, adding on scissors. The pruner blade, for which the Harvester name or Swiss Army 7 is known for, the cap lifter, the main blade, the inline reamer, and as a special touch, adding on to the Harvester scissors. So this is known as the Harvester X, which is a 4-layer 93mm Swiss Army knife. And although you can't get this Harvester X, there is the Farmer X, where you will just get a can opener in place of this pruner blade. So that concludes our brief look at the layers of the 93mm Victorinox Swiss Army knives. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next segment where we explore the layers of the 111mm form factor. Likes and comments are well appreciated. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.